It started when I was 18, only because I had an unplanned pregnancy at a very young age. And I went into my late teens being very thin my whole life. I was pretty upset and depressed about what happened. And, I didn't know what my life was going to be like. And I basically turned to food as my legal drug of choice. And I put on a lot of weight during the pregnancy, over 60 pounds. By the time I came out of that pregnancy, I was a size 12 at that point. I started, like I said, at a size 3. I was 60 pounds overweight, and it's not a place that I'd ever been in my life. I had a second son by the time I was 20. So my early 20s, I started out being obviously very overweight and not really focusing on that, obviously, because now I have 2 boys. I tried lots of diets between then and age 27. I did all kinds of stuff on TV and, anything at GNC, and I did whatever Dr. Oz said, all of it. When I was 27, I got pregnant for my third and final child, and then when she was 3 years old, I went back to college. So I went to college when I was 30, and at that point, I had 3 kids, a full-time job, plus I was going to college. Convenience food was, that was my life. When the kids' books went away, mine came out. I'd go to bed very late every night, get up very early the next morning, start it all over again. By the time I was 36, I graduated with my master's degree in math and education, and I landed a great job at Goshen High School. But at that point, I was 215 pounds. So I started out at 140, and by the time I got done doing all of that stuff, I was 215 pounds. And then my brother asked me to be in his wedding, and I decided to try another diet. It was one with shakes and bars. I lost 35 pounds. It took me 4 months to do it. I, lost about a size and a half. I was pretty excited. And on the way home from the wedding, I said to my husband, I don't want to continue this. I want to get back to regular food. I want to start working out and everything else. Within 5 weeks' time, I gained 25 out of the 35 back. At that point, I just resorted to the fact that I was just going to have to be overweight because I got checked by the doctor. There's no thyroid issue. She just looked at me and she handed me an out-of-date food pyramid. And she's like, you really need to lose weight. Yeah, I know. I guess I just gave up at that point and said, well, I really tried, and I'm not going to keep worrying about this because emotionally and mentally it was really wearing on me.
Right. And by now you've got your master's degree in math and you want to go on with your life. You don't want this.
Yeah,
you want to carry this
it.
weight forever. You're like, heck with it.
Exactly. That is exactly it. I have a great family, great husband, great job now. I'm just going to have to be okay with being overweight. That's it. I just have to be okay with it because I wanted to enjoy my career and everything. I loved what I was doing. So about a year later, my aunt came home from Florida, which seems to be the diet capital of the world. She was doing this protocol from a doctor that was back in the 1940s, and his name was Dr. Simeon. She lost like 50 pounds. It took her about 3.5 months, being age 60. And I said, my God, you look amazing, And she's like, yep, I kept it off. At that point, it was like 6 months. She kept it off, and she's like, I've been doing great. I feel great. As soon as she said it was a diet, I'm like, diets don't work. No, thank you. And I just put it aside. I didn't even want to go there again. That was in July of 2011, and by October of 2011, I went to put something on out of my closet. It was like my size 16. I couldn't fit into it. And then I had to start reaching into my size 18s in my closet, and I was like, oh my God, I cannot keep going up like this. And at that point, I just broke down and I cried. I was actually late for work that morning.
We just want to pause here for one moment to acknowledge all the women who have been late because they were crying in the closet. Right? This is
so
a story
true.
many people can relate to. Late because we were crying in the closet. So you said, all right, Auntie from Florida, I'm going to try your Dr. Simeon deal.
Yes. It was at the end of October of 2011. I decided to try. By the first week in December, now at that point I dieted through Thanksgiving, 2 cookie exchanges, and a Christmas faculty party that I cooked for. I got through it all because I figured, you know what, I'm just going to give it a shot. I'm going to play full on, 100%, and see what happens. If I hate it, I'll never do it again. If I love it, well, I just can't wait to see the results. So it was about 6 weeks or so, and by the end of that time frame, I had lost 2 sizes, and I had lost close to 35 pounds. I had a lot of inflammation as well, so I had some water weight, obviously, close to 35 pounds in that time frame. At that point, I was a size 10, and I hadn't seen that 10 since, God, between like kid 1 and kid 2 somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
I took a break over Christmas from the diet because the diet is extremely strict. It wasn't like I wanted to eat all the food. I didn't want to do that. The diet really helped teach me portion control. It gave me back my self-discipline that I felt that I was really missing.
Right.
It really helped me notice like how my body reacted to things. There's so much. If you're willing to put yourself in that type of, I guess you could say, solitary confinement, and the only thing that you really have to deal with is yourself, you'll learn.
Right.
You'll learn who you are. You learn how you deal with food. You'll learn how you deal with emotions, because if you're taking that crutch away that I usually would turn to for food for anything that I needed to help me deal, well, I better learn how to deal otherwise, because I was no longer using the food because I was getting the results and I didn't want to screw that up.
Right. We're talking to Nan DeGroat. We're talking about her weight loss breakthrough, and she's going to help us all if you're interested in a weight loss breakthrough. She has information for all of us to share. But you said the term solitary confinement. First of all, if it was easy to lose weight and keep it off, we would all be the size we want to be.
Correct.
And it is so hard. I could lose weight easily before I was married. Having a big, hairy man in the house who believes in breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert really can throw your game off. Here you are with a full house, right? 3 boys and 2 girls, and it's hard to say, okay, you all eat this way. I am going to eat this very different way.
This is something that I tell my clients all the time, and I really feel that this is the key to what we try to do with our clients. People have to learn how to put their wellness first. They have to learn how to be their own advocates. They have to learn how to say, you know what, that doesn't serve me, so I'm not doing it. You can do it. I'm not going to rain on your parade, but it's not going to serve me. And I have to say, I did some very specific things for myself to make sure I was successful. I prepped and cooked specifically for me every Sunday, and I made sure I had it, and I looked at my calendar ahead. If I knew I was going to 4 Little Leagues games that week, I made sure I brought my stuff with me. If we were all eating together, I would eat first. I would sit with them, but I would eat first before I would start cooking for them. Because, once you start cooking, you want to pick, that's what we do. And I also prepared my family, too. I let them know, listen, I'm not going to be joining in with all the eating and the festivities. I'll be there. Don't ask me if I want to try something. Just let me be. Let me do what I got to do. And they were very supportive of that. And there were times when I did not want to cook for the family. If I had a stressful day, I would call my husband on the way home and say, look, you got to take them out, or we got to get some takeout for them. I didn't change how they ate. Don't change what everybody else is eating. You prepare your stuff for you, and then leave them alone. I think probably every woman out there probably has her shopping list almost memorized. Why change that for them? I just wanted to change the stuff for me and take care of me only for once.
And you do have to get on that self-care role, and something that inspires that is results.
Absolutely.
So you got to white knuckle it a little bit, and then you get to the results, and then you build up momentum. So where are we in the Nan DeGroat story?
I lost 35. I took a break. I got back on, and I lost another 15 pounds. It took me almost the exact same time to lose the last 15 pounds. So altogether it was about 50 pounds in about 65 to 70 days, and I held that weight for 4 years with no issue at all. But when that happened in 2012, people kept coming to me and saying, oh my God, what did you do? So what happened was I just was kind of like just sitting with people in the faculty room, or, people would come to my house. I'd sit with them at the kitchen table, just show them what I was doing. And that just took off. And that happened in March. And by June of 2012, I had so many people calling me and showing up at my house. I couldn't keep up with both teaching and this. I actually kept track of all my numbers, and I brought them to a financial consultant. And I asked him, I'm like, can this support my teacher salary? Because I really love what I'm doing. About a week later, he called me. He's like, absolutely. He goes, you can do this.
Meaning leave your teacher job and take over health consulting?
Yep. And that's what I did.
Okay, that's a great story, and we're happy to share the timeline with us. But now tell us what it is that made you lose weight and keep it off.
The Simians protocol is really based around very specific supplements that help support the body. My supplements I have, they're formulated by me and the biologist and a homeopathist that I worked with. They support the body in cleaning the external fat that we don't need. Like all that jelly belly stuff on the outside, that's all fat people don't need. But we do have good fat on the interior that we need. So what the supplements actually help you do is clean that exterior fat. The low-calorie diet that people follow forces the body to go use that fat. And it won't use good fat if it's got the exterior stuff cleaned and available. That's the entire crux of this program. You're eating all whole foods, proteins, fruits, and veggies every single day. You're drinking water. You're taking some supportive supplements, and you're losing the weight.
Okay, and this you call your...
The name of the weight loss company is called Breakthrough M2.
And M2 stands for?
Metabolic method.
Metabolic method. Oh, it's like M squared.
Yeah, and that's metabolic method was what Dr. Simeon called it, because medical doctors are still using this protocol today.
So let me ask you this, Nan. So I'm sure I could go online and just Google the Dr. Simeon method. How is yours different?
We're extremely knowledgeable about this particular protocol. We are the only company that actually works specifically just with this protocol. We don't do anything else. We don't work with other types of weight loss supplements. We only have the one. We have tons of support in place, and that is a huge thing that our clients absolutely love about us. We have an amazing private Facebook page with over 3,000 people on there. We have the support. We have all three pieces, really. Like, everybody wants to lose weight, and I get that, and that's so important for all of us, because for me personally, I needed to lose weight before I could get a hold of my mental and emotional world, because for me, my weight was part of my mental and emotional issues. We want people to understand that, yes, a diet will work, but a diet will never change why you eat. So we hit the other parts of it as well, not just the physical part. We want to make sure our clients are getting the education and the support they need, both mentally and emotionally, to make those lifestyle changes that are actually going to make this be the last diet they ever do. That's actually one of our mottos. Let this be the last diet you ever do.
A diet will never change why you eat.
That's correct.
All right. So you and your staff, you will help people on this journey and help them find their why. And then when they find their why, replace it?
Yeah. Well, most of us just have to overhaul it. Like, for me personally, I mean, I had to deal with the fact that I used food for every emotion. Like, if I was angry about something, I literally found myself in the kitchen, like, just tearing apart an orange and shoving it in my mouth. Well, it wasn't Oreos, but it wasn't the point.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm still using food as a way for me to kind of think through and, well, no, let's go do something else. Let's deal with the emotional world differently now. And that's really what this program guides people into doing.